How to balance the shared energy when you're interacting with your divine masculine. Happy New Year, everyone. I hope everyone is off to some great goals for the new year. I always feel that the new year is a perfect opportunity to start working on yourself or continue working on yourself and your own specific goals. Welcome to my channel. So I wanted to make this video in response to one of the comments that came through on this channel regarding setting healthy boundaries when your divine masculine isn't quite coming in the way you want. And this is really important to be able to set those boundaries for yourself. And this is an opportunity for you to look at your own core beliefs and do they still resonate? What are your core beliefs about a healthy relationship? And really picking that apart and seeing if that still resonates. Then you have the opportunity to revise that core belief about a healthy relationship. Now, everyone's definition about a healthy relationship is going to be different. So it's going to be based on what you feel a healthy relationship is. For example, I might feel that it's okay and I feel good and healthy in a relationship where I see my person every 2 weeks, right? I might feel that that's a healthy relationship and that works for me, where for you, it might be that seeing your person every 2 weeks is not really considered a healthy relationship. Therefore, you pull your energy back and continue to focus on yourself. And that's going to be really important, because if you're giving your energy away and it's not fulfilling you, then again, they're coming in as a reflection of your own energy. There is no separate energy, even though they're definitely a separate person. The energy that you're receiving is based from you. Everything that you receive is based from you. And this is the beautiful part of a twin flame journey, is that you now realize this. You now realize that it's not as though, well, they're not healed, they're not doing this, they're not doing this, I'm not going to talk to them. It's not as though you're blaming your person. And this is what we've done in other relationships, right? This is what we've done. This is what I've done as well. Blaming the other person for not showing up the way you want them to. And there is no more blame. It's accepting, allowing the energy to come through, making those boundaries that's important for you, and pulling your energy back if you do have those boundaries. So it's really important that you really learn to identify what your boundaries are and then set those boundaries to what works for you. And you do that in a way that's still loving and not blaming the person, not seeing them as the bad guy, the one that will never show up the way you want them to, or the one that is maybe with another person, or whatever the situation is. And I really can't get into all the different examples of what that looks like, because it's going to be based on your energy. And that's more really where my expertise lies, in really picking that apart during a coaching session. So feel free to reach out if you do need some more specific help on this, on how to balance that energy. But setting those boundaries is really key. And I would just start off by looking at where your core beliefs are and what you consider to be a healthy relationship. And yes, you do this when they come in the 3D. You could also do it energetically and set boundaries as well, but it also is going to reflect how they come in the 3D. What I'm going to say is that it's going to be really important to see your person coming in a beautiful way energetically. So that is how we do it energetically. But in the 3D, you set those boundaries according to what works for you, without showing anger or being resentful. And how they come in the 3D is always a perfect opportunity to always dive deeper into yourself And again, self-reflect on yourself. What is it bringing up? Are you being triggered? To really work on these areas, because these areas will continue to cycle over and over again. And if it's not in your divine masculine, it might be someone else that you're interacting with, such as a family member, a coworker, and so forth. And those lessons will continue to come through until you really look at them and learn to accept what's going on, allow the energy to come through, but then make the changes in yourself that you need to make. So then that will also be reflected back to you in the 3D. And this is a beautiful thing, that you're able to really work on your own energy. And that is what the whole twin flame journey is all about. And although the journey isn't about your divine masculine, it is important to start to learn how to balance that energy, that masculine energy that is coming back in. And this is going to help you really work on yourself and know that it's all about your energy. It's all about setting standards for yourself, and you want to receive them in a loving way. And if that means that you have to pull your energy back and not be in contact with your person, then there's nothing wrong with that. You're still doing it in a healthy way. If you're presenting it in a way that is in a loving way, putting yourself first, focusing on yourself, and just keep living your life. And the more that you do this, the more that you find the happiness within yourself, then they will show up differently. But it's always about you and never about them. And this part, I feel like I have to reiterate, because we tend to focus on the person, where in fact the person is within ourselves. The person is you. It's always about you. It's always about what it is that you want. How do you show up for yourself? What is your self-talk about you? And you're being asked to revise what no longer makes sense or works for you into reframing your own beliefs about relationships, how people show up for you, and what you're worthy of receiving. And if you feel that maybe coming in every 2 weeks is worthy, then that's what's going to happen. But if you feel that that's something that's not okay with you, then changing the framework of how you see your person, and then being in this state of fulfillment within yourself, finding that joy within yourself, and knowing that your person is simply a reflection of yourself. But if you do need to dive deeper in this, feel free to reach out. I do have a website. So I hope this has been helpful. Feel free to leave any comments below. If you haven't subscribed yet, feel free to do so. I'm sending you all so much love.